All right, looks like we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to an exciting conversation about a company that's shaking things up in Hollywood with their fan-owned entertainment model. I'm going to be the host, Nathan Disk, and I'd like to start off by introducing our guests. First and foremost, we have Mr. Wonderful himself, Mr. Kevin O'Leary. Welcome and thanks for joining.
Thank you.
We also have Emmy Award-winning co-founders of Legion M Entertainment, Paul Scanlon and Jeff Anderson. Welcome.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, great. So Legion M is currently having a funding round on Start Engine. And so to kick things off, we're going to play their campaign trailer to give everyone a true feeling of what they're building. So if we could go ahead and cue that up.
Hey there, everybody at Legion M.
Legion M is really innovative.
The concept is really remarkable.
What it is that you guys do that's so special is you connect with fans.
Tell us about this Legion M model. It truly is unique. You've got the fans owning your studio.
We're built to be the world's first fan-owned entertainment company. The idea behind it is simple. If you've got a studio that's owned by a large group of fans, you've got amazing competitive advantages.
Long live Legion M.
We are uniting a vibrant and engaged community to co-own the company, have a voice in what content we produce, go behind the scenes and get involved, but also own a piece of the upside. We're redefining what it means to be a shareholder.
It's so cool to have real fans of movies and film like I am have a real stake.
I think it's an interesting way to try to include fans in the making of movies.
You guys are gonna be extras!
Today we're doing a shareholder call with Karan Soni from Deadpool, our lead in Fade to Black.
Get that tingle?
You know you're watching something that's going to change the course of history.
It's a novel way of making films.
It's kind of cool, you know. You're not working for some fat cat somewhere who doesn't give a damn other than making money.
Legion M is an amazing company. It's owned 100% by the fans.
What do you think about that?
I love that Legion M is bringing fans together.
Opening the gates to Hollywood, not only allowing fans to own a piece of the company, but also bringing the experiences out to them.
Being part of the Legion, you have access to the entertainment industry.
The opportunity to be involved if you want to be.
I love Legion M. Very happy to be a part of this.
You ready?
Legion M is working to bring the story of Captain Robert Smalls to the screen. We want you to join us.
We've already released several movies with fans as our guiding light, and our pipeline of projects is better than it's ever been.
This is not the last Legion M movie I will do, I'll tell you that right now.
It's the concept of its time.
It's like buying stock in Disney, like not now, but back when they were just getting started up and nobody knew if they would succeed or fail. Paul and I have done this before. 25 years ago, we co-founded a company that revolutionized mobile television and won an Emmy Award for being the first to put live TV on the cell phone. Startups are risky. The fact is, most of them fail. But the ones that succeed can go on to change the world. And we're betting our careers that Legion M can be one of those.
I am Legion M.
I am Legion M.
Join the Legion.
Join the Legion!
Join the Legion.
We are Legion M!
All right. That's really great stuff. Kevin, maybe we'll start off with you on this one. The entertainment industry is a notoriously tough market to break into. But what do you think about this model, potentially flipping the script, creating a built-in audience of investors who own a piece of the content they love?
Well, there's a lot of change going on in entertainment, both in the generation of content and distribution. I mean, it's one of the most volatile industries out there. So, you know, when there's a lot of volatility, there's a lot of opportunity. No one can say, you know, what this is going to look like in 10 years, but it's definitely changing. And you're seeing a lot of players raise a lot of money right now to try and consolidate content. What's interesting about this model, obviously, is the shareholders are motivated to engage with the content. So, I mean, if you're a shareholder and you're part of this company and you know it's producing content, you're already predisposed to watch it. And that's what's really a test here. And that it'll be very interesting to see what happens, because generally speaking, in any business platform, and actually it's why equity crowdfunding works, is if you democratize ownership, people have an internal interest in the outcomes long term. That's why I'm a big part of it, believer of doing this. But this is a very interesting model because you're basically telling everybody that's engaging, look, this is your company, you have a say in it, and you have a piece of the profits, and here's some content. Yeah, it's definitely different.
Yeah. So, I mean, on that note, Jeff, Paul, your investors are also your fans and your marketing team in a sense. So how do you turn that passion into like measurable impact, like in the box office?
Sorry, it's a great question. And thank you, Kevin, for being here. You took a lot of my words right out of my mouth. I mean, we are truly democratizing the entertainment space, a very exclusive industry. A lot of people talk about, how hard it is. And at the upper echelons of the entertainment industry, it can be very lucrative. At the lower end, where you don't have a built-in audience, it can be a really fast way to lose a lot of money. And so, one of the things that Jeff and I are engineering is something that we truly think is a better mousetrap, and something that, when you put fans at the center of everything you do, and you do what's right by them. I mean, we see, equity crowdfunding is more than just a means to an end for Legion M. It's the basis of our business model, and it's why our community is so vibrant and engaged. I mean, we don't see the community as just a source of capital. I mean, we truly see them as our superpower and our secret sauce. And what's interesting about that is in the video you may have seen, I was doing a TED talk about what I see as what Jeff and I see as the profound impact of a community united with purpose. And I think in our case, we're uniting a vibrant and engaged community of entertainment fans, like people that love the entertainment business. These aren't just people that occasionally watch a movie. They are people that regularly go to the movies. And so, with them as our community to really unlock, profound movement and impact in the space, it's really incredible.
Yeah. I mean, so from an investor's perspective, Kevin, how do you evaluate companies like Legion M that are prioritizing this, long-term brand building through community?
Well, it's no different than any other attempt to form a group of passionate investors that care about the outcome because they like the content. I mean, it's, that's why in many cases equity crowdfunding is better, because there's no preference share sitting above you with a venture capitalist that has a specific time, usually 5 years, to liquidate the fund. So they're under tremendous pressure. This is different because this is a long-term play, and the idea that you can build a platform that has a community. I mean, even large companies today like Nike are trying to build communities that buy direct from them and have a stakehold in the brand. This has been going on ever since the pandemic ended, because people realize when you can make somebody an advocate for product or service, and they tell others, they become leverage. They're your advocate. They believe in it so much that they own a piece of the company, and they tell others exactly about it. And it takes the pressure off the company itself to constantly go find new advocates, because it's viral. It's part of what social media did to change investment forever. I mean, it's communicating about mission to a base of people that are predisposed to both be owners and consumers of a good or service. In this case, it's media content. But if you're selling cupcakes, it's the same thing. You want your community to buy your cupcakes because they like your brand and they think the content or the quality remains consistent, and they become advocates. I've seen the model work many, many, many times, and so hopefully it's going to work here too. This is a little more interesting because media is fast changing in a big way, and people are consuming their content on different channels. You can see the slowdown in linear television versus the increase in streaming, for example. And that means multiple devices. I mean, I watch a lot of movies now on tablets in airplanes. What's wrong with that? Nothing. And it gives me, I can use my time more fruitfully that way. So it is interesting. There's no question about it. But to actually have your shareholders be owners of the content too, that's you can see that the valuations right now are, the more content you own, the more valuable you are on all of these deals that are being floated around Hollywood these days, these studios going through consolidation. It's about content. Who can pay for the content? Who can pay the most wins the deal.
Yeah, and certainly you have a lot of passionate fans, Jeff and Paul. You've raised over 25 million from tens of thousands of investors already, and already this year, seen a 60% revenue growth from last year. So, what's behind that momentum? How are you channeling that momentum, and where do you see yourself going?
I'll take this one. I want to just first address what Kevin said, because he's totally right. I mean, the entertainment industry is in a massive state of flux right now. And it's because the technology is changing. It's because the culture is changing. We're still dealing with the ramifications of the strikes and the pandemic and just this and the onset of AI, which is going to change everything. But at the end of the day, the audience has always been and always will be king in entertainment. It's been there since the first days of black and white movies, because the audience are the people that buy the tickets and pay the subscription fees. So we believe that actually being owned by the audience is as defensible a position as you can find today, because technology is going to come and go, and you can ride one technological wave just to get wiped out by the next. But the power of the audience is always at the core of what the industry is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so essentially, you're channeling that momentum back into, your company. And Kevin, you've worked with countless founders. I mean, when you look at what Paul and Jeff are trying to build here, what stands out about their approach in this, as entrepreneurs?
It's trying to get the customer acquired very early. And most startups today fail for one reason. They're unable to get customers at a cost that's economic. So their customer acquisition costs are larger than the lifetime value of the customer. And it's a fancy way of saying they go bankrupt advertising. So if you can actually make your customer a shareholder, in part of the process, stakeholder, what happens there is the attrition rate is much lower. So part of the problem in any business is you acquire the customer, and then you look over 12 months, how many of those customers that you acquire fall off, no longer use the product or service. So that's a degradation it makes the cost higher for the remaining customers. So the attrition rate in telco, for example, has to be below 2.5%. So telco companies work on attrition. That's what they care about. Anything below 2.5%, they remain profitable. And when you have a shareholder, they have another reason not to fall off, because they're stakeholders. And that's why equity crowdfunding is kind of interesting, because it provides a stickiness to reduce customer acquisition and have a lower attrition rate. And so the two numbers are ROAS, return on ad spend, and CAC, customer acquisition cost. So you want to watch for that in any business. If you can have a positive or a very low customer acquisition cost, and then you start spending and advertising to acquire more customers or shareholders, and you get a return of, let's say, 4 times on that, you spend $1,000, you make $4,000. That's a 4x on ROAS. That's very attractive to investors. And so that's really what this company has to do, is to try and figure out how to get the message out there. Like every company, it's no different. But because it's entertainment, it's a little sexier, it's more interesting. It's not like you're making widgets in a steel factory. People like the movies, people like content, people like celebrity. They like also to be part of it. And that's not easy to do in today's world. So that's what's interesting about this deal.
Absolutely. And that's exactly what it seems like Legion M is trying to do. I mean, the M in your logo literally stands for 1 million shareholders, right? So what does Legion M look like when you get there? I mean,
Yeah, it's a great question. And Kevin hit the nail on the head, which is, in entertainment, every project is a nationwide product launch, which can be really expensive. And it's one of the reasons why the entertainment industry is so focused on franchises. Franchises, at least, bring back some of the previous audience. And, what we're building with Legion M is a studio that is owned by a built-in audience and not confined to existing sequels and reboots of franchises, but instead, introducing new franchises. So, our logo is an M with a bar over it. It's the Roman numeral for 1 million. Everyone in our community hopefully understands this. We wanted it to be like emblazoned in our logo that our long-term goal is to unite 1 million entertainment fans and then take over Hollywood, but not in a, in a negative way, in a positive way. I think there's a lot of people in Hollywood that would really welcome the idea of being able to have a franchise incubator, if you will, something that could bring wildly original new IP to market, knowing that we have a built-in audience. I mean, one of the things that we always say is that, entertainment, it's a hit-driven business. It's a little bit like Vegas in a lot of ways. The odds are stacked against you. There's a lot more projects that fail than succeed. Hopefully the ones that succeed make up for the misses, but with our model, like our focus is on reducing that downside, like capping the downside so that we can, if you could go to Vegas and you could tip the odds in your favor instead of the house's favor, you'd have a lot more fun when you're there. But really, the marketing aspect of films, a lot of people don't always appreciate, everyone talks about the budget of a film and whether it made money, and most of the big studios are spending at least what they spent on the film marketing the film. And so, if you can address that part of the equation, it's really, really valuable.
Absolutely. Well, we're about up on time, but Kevin, maybe I'll pass it to you for any closing thoughts on what Legion M is trying to accomplish here.
Well, I think the point about customer acquisition for ticket sales and entertainment, I mean, you spend $40 million on a movie, nobody knows about it. You have to get out there and start from scratch to let people know that you have it. But if you had a customer base already captured and you knew who they are and where they are, and they're part of the ownership of the studio, as you develop the content, you can keep them posted on where you stand on getting the project out to market. And so most shareholders in the studio would like to see the product that they invested in. And so if you could really get 1 million shareholders, which I understand is, the vision here, that's your built-in audience for customer acquisition or ticket sales right there. Because you know who they are, you can communicate directly to them and maybe get 5, 10, 15% of them to watch the content, which is, word of mouth is how you sell. People go to a film, they see it, they like it, they tell others about it. Either they go and see it on streaming, or they go into the theater to see it. It's the most viral and important way to get customers, period. And so if you can just seed that with shareholders, that's interesting. I mean, I don't recall anybody doing this before. I haven't seen this model before. So I think a lot of people will be watching it.
Yeah, well, it was never possible before the Jobs Act. I mean, the whole reason we started the company was because we saw a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because of this disruptive change of securities law. And you're right. I mean, the hardest part today isn't making content. It's rising above the noise because there's more content out there than anybody can watch in a lifetime. And so for us, it's all about trying to grow the size of that built-in audience, figure out ways to use that built-in audience as a lever or an amplifier to get the word out there. And if you can start with $1 million or $5 million or $10 million worth of built-in value for the movie, you've just got your thumb on the scale for every project that you release.
Absolutely. I mean, and so Jeff and Paul, with that, like, to close things out, what's next for Legion M? Anything you're excited about that's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. Do you want to talk about Fackham Hall, and maybe I can talk about Defiant?
Yeah, sure. We've got a movie coming out December 5th. It's called Fackham Hall. The best way to describe it is it's Downton Abbey meets Airplane. And we just released the trailer last week. We're co-distributing it with Bleecker Street. And within 24 hours, we had over 7 million views of the trailer, and it demolished the record for Bleecker Street before. So again, that's just part of the example. But we'll put the link in the chat for anybody that wants to watch it. And be on the lookout, because we're going to have a Legion M ticket offer for all of our investors so that you can go out and you can bring your friends out to the movie and come see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for Fackham Hall because it's also represents an expansion of our business model into distribution, partnering with one of our favorite distributors, Bleecker Street. But we also have a project in the works that our community is very well aware of because they helped us publish a graphic novel. It's about a real life superhero named Robert Smalls. I won't go into the details now, but check out our website. It's our biggest project yet. It's got an incredible amount of momentum. We've got an A-list screenwriter writing the script right now. We have an A-list director that is attached that we haven't announced, and there's just some really incredible stuff cooking up with that one. Oh, and by the way, that one, what's unique about that is it came to us from our community. Our community called on us to make that movie, and a few years later, we published a best-selling graphic novel about the story. We have the family of Robert Smalls involved in our project, and now we're working on a blockbuster film. This is a much bigger film than Legion M has ever done, so it's really a step up.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, with that, we will wrap things up. Kevin, Jeff, Paul, thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah.
Nice
For anyone who's interested in investing in Legion M Entertainment, you can find their offering over at startengine.com. Thanks all.
All right. Bye.